Hello and welcome to the 24th tutorial part 2. In this tutorial we will be continuing to making the Cross the Road game. So we left the last tutorial by showing how the lane works, and now we will continue to actually make the game. So we will implement the lane into the game. So we can show what we got currently. So you can see that the car moves by shifting it to the right for now, and let's delete this as we don't need it currently, and let's start implementing the function into the actual game class. So in the game class we would need a few private variables. We have quit for exiting the game. We also need the number of lanes, and we also need the width of the map, or rather the number of positions in the lane, and we can also add score. And we need to add our player. So let's say, because our player, let's create a pointer to our player, so we can initialize it in the constructor of this class. And now we will use the thing that we used in the previous tutorials, and that's the vector. So let's create a vector. It will be of C-lane pointer. So you will, and let's call this map. As you can see, vector is not included, so we go up and include it. And now that we can include the vector, we have all our private variables that we need. And we'll add a constructor here, so cGame. It will need to have a width. So let's say the initial width will be 20. It will need to have a height as a parameter. That's the number of lines. It will be 10, for example. And that will be it for now. So we will set our variables here. So number of lines will be the height, and the width will be the W variable from the constructor arguments. And let's say the quit is false, so we don't exit accidentally the game. Oh, sorry. And now let's initialize the map by pushing actually the lanes. So let's say like this. So for int I is equal to 0 until the number of the lanes, and I++, and now we actually push to the map. Actually we have essentially an array of lanes, so we need to push back. We need to push back a new C lane. So we create this on the fly, because this is a pointer. It will actually allocate the memory dynamically and push it into the vector of lanes. And the lane requires one parameter, and that's width. And the width will be passed through the function, as we already have it, like this. Okay. So now we have that. We also need to create a player. So player will be a new player. A new player will also need to know the width. So we now have initialized our game settings. Now, now let's create the drawing function. So the drawing function will need to start with clearing the screen. So in Windows you will use CLS, in Linux and Mac OS you will write clear here, so clear. But in Windows it's CLS. And now we need to go through all of our lanes, and until we run through all our lanes. So number of lanes and I++, we essentially print it like a matrix. And now we go with J until J is until J is less than the width. So now we actually cover the x-axis with J. So we cover the y-axis with I, number of lines, so like this, and J we cover the x-axis like this. And now we can actually check and display the lanes. So let's do it like this. If map of I. So the map has number of lanes, and we need to get the current lane. So we get the lane on the top in this case, and we check its position. And the position is actually the X position, and we input J because the X represents the it's represented by the J variable here in the loop. And if actually that's the position, then we need to print out if it returns true, then there's a car there, and we need to print the hashtag. Else, if the player X is equal to J and the player Y is equal to I, then we will print the player there. So the player will be V, for example. Sorry. Else, if none of those conditions are met, then we just write an empty character, which will actually represent a space, and like the player can pass there. And we need to end the line here. So now, if we actually run this, so let's say cgame here, and let's call it game. And we need to, as we already said, we need to initialize it with some variables. And I'm not sure. Let's put something like 30 is the width, and the height will be 5. So we have 5 lanes. And let's run the game. So game run, and the run function is already implemented here. So let's print it. So we see the player is positioned in the middle, as we already said in constructor. So the width divided by 2, and we don't see any cars in the lanes. And okay, that's because we initialized that the lane in the lane class will be false initially. If we set it to true here, it will be filled with cars. So if you run it now, as you can see, it's filled with cars. But as you can see, there's no player now, because the first lane is filled with cars and the player is essentially run over by cars. And we need to actually fix that by ignoring the first and the last lane. So in order to ignore the first and the last lane, we need to go to our draw function and essentially disable the drawing of the first and the last lanes. So this is the current position, and we also say and if I is not 0, so not the first lane, and I is not equal to number of lanes minus 1, so the last lane. So this will essentially gives us only 3 lanes, because we from 5 we disabled the printing of the first lane and the last lane. As you can see, it's pretty interesting like that. Okay, we have that now. Let's actually handle the input and to allow the player to move. So we use the classic KB hit, but we can't use it because we need to include it first, the top, and this will work only on Windows, sorry, but on Linux there is an alternative for Conio H, and I will post that in some of the videos for Linux. So you can also use these functions, these exact same functions like on Windows, and it will work on Linux and Mac. So if, and let's create a character here that will be the current character. And we will call get character. And let's check if current character is equal to A. We will actually move the player left. If the current character is D, then we will move the player, X, to the right. And I have a semicolon here, and that's not good, sorry. And we can copy this, and let's copy it like this, and change this to W. So when we go up, we actually decrease the Y coordinate, And when we go down with S, we actually increase the y coordinate. And of course, if the current character is Q, then we will quit the game. So quit is true. Okay, nice. We have the input function now. Let's try the game now. So as you can see, when we press right and left, the player moves. When we press down, it's not visible, but because we print over the cars, and the car will always go over the player, so that's why it's not visible. But when we actually initiate the shifting of the lanes and moving of the cars, you can see that when the player goes through something that's not the car, it will actually be visible. So we can cross the road if I press this a few times, and we can move left and right. Okay, so we've done a lot now in our game, and now let's actually create the logic for moving. So in the logic function, we need to go through all the lanes. So we need to initialize that the lane will go from 1 and not from 0, because we ignore the first and the last lane. So we go from I is equal to 1 until not the last, but the last minus 1 actually lane. So I++. So it will go essentially from 1. If, for example, if the number of lanes is 5, it will go from it will check from 1 to 3, because we use less sign. So if number of lanes is 5, minus 1 will be 4, but this sign actually says that I needs to be less than 4, meaning that it will maximally be 3. So we will iterate through all the lanes, and let's say like this: if randomly, if we get a number from in this range and it's equal to 1, then we will move the current lane. It's very simple. Let's run the game now. And as you can see, the cars are actually moving, and new cars are spawned at the front of the lane. And this is very, very, very interesting, as you can see. And we can now cross the road and essentially try not to get hit by a car. We can also get hit by a car because we don't handle it currently. But as you can see, we can actually have something similar to Frogger now. Okay, so now let's handle the collision. The collision is also going to be handled here in the logic. And we will handle it like this. So if the current lane, we check the position. We check the position of the current lane, and we check the position of the player's X position. So if current player's X position is the same position as the car in the actual lane, and of course the player's Y position is essentially the current lane, we will say that quit is equal to true. So let's start the game. Sorry. As you can see, those are the cars. We can try to pass, and I hit the car, and actually the game quit. So let's try this again. So we can move left and right, and we can now cross the road, as you can see. But if we go up and wait for the car hits me, and it's the end of the game. As you can see, essentially this is the whole game, but we can improve it a little bit further. And in order to improve this game, we will do that in the next tutorial. But as you can see, it's not very complicated. It runs 100 lines to create a very, very rudimentary, basic cross the road style of the game. So I hope you like this so far, and if you liked it, please like this video and subscribe, and thanks for watching this tutorial, and hopefully see you in the next part where we will finish the game and make it a little bit more interesting. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. See you in the next video.